What would you do if the power grid failed tonight? What if a neighbor, desperate and unprepared, showed up at your door asking for food or supplies you've carefully stockpiled? In 2025, this scenario might not just be a possibility, it could be a reality. Experts predict that 2025 will bring unprecedented challenges. Grid failures, economic instability, natural disasters, and even geopolitical conflicts. When these events unfold, your neighbors may not stay friendly for long. That's why knowing which survival items to keep hidden, and why, isn't just smart. It's essential. Today, we'll count down 10 survival items you must hide from your neighbors to ensure your safety and security in the toughest times ahead. And trust me, item number 1 could literally save your life in a total collapse. Let's get started. Before we dive into the list, let's take a moment to understand what's at stake. In recent years, we've seen warning signs everywhere. The Texas winter freeze of 2021 left millions without power and heat. Supply chain disruptions in 2022 and 2023 caused shortages across the country. Now, with 2025 shaping up to be even more uncertain, being prepared isn't just wise, it's survival. But here's the thing, being prepared also means being discreet. When desperation sets in, unprepared neighbors will look to those who have supplies. And in a crisis, even the kindest neighbor can turn into a threat. Let's break down the 10 survival items you must keep hidden in 2025, and how each one could make or break your ability to thrive. Number 10, long-lasting canned foods. When the world starts to unravel, canned goods become more than just food. They become a currency of survival. Compact, durable, and packed with vital calories, these humble cans can sustain life when everything else runs out. But here's the harsh reality. When grocery store shelves are stripped bare, canned foods will be as valuable as gold. If your neighbors catch a glimpse of a pantry stocked to the brim, what do you think will happen? That friendly wave across the fence could quickly turn into a desperate knock, or worse. That's why it's critical to keep these out of sight. The best places? Think beyond the obvious. Store your cans in unmarked boxes labeled with something boring like holiday decorations or old clothes. Stash them behind bookshelves, under furniture, or in crawl spaces. The key is secrecy. What your neighbors don't know about can't become a target. And remember, in a crisis, your canned goods won't just feed you. They'll give you the edge to survive while others struggle. Protect them like your life depends on it, because one day it might. Number 9, emergency radios. When the grid goes down, the world falls silent. No internet, no phones, no way to know what's happening beyond your own front door. In those moments, an emergency radio becomes your lifeline to critical information. Weather alerts, rescue operations, or even hints about what's coming next. But here's the danger. Knowledge is power, and power makes you a target. If a neighbor overhears the crackle of a working radio in your home, they'll instantly know you're better prepared than they are. And in times of desperation, that knowledge could put you in serious danger. So how do you stay informed without tipping your hand? Keep your radio hidden and discreet. Store it somewhere out of sight, and if you need to use it, do so quietly and in private. Opt for compact, battery-powered models that are easy to stash in a bag or drawer when not in use. Your emergency radio isn't just a tool. It's your connection to the outside world when everything else fails. But remember, in a crisis, staying prepared means staying invisible. Number 8, seeds for planting, specifically heirloom seeds. In a long-term crisis, grocery stores won't save you. When the shelves are empty and food becomes a memory, the ability to grow your own crops will separate those who survive from those who don't. And the key to this? Heirloom seeds. Unlike hybrid seeds, heirloom seeds are the gift that keeps on giving. They're pure, natural, and can produce crops season after season without losing their potency. In other words, they're not just seeds, they're sustainability in its purest form. But here's the harsh truth. As food supplies dwindle, people will do whatever it takes to find a meal. If your neighbors catch wind that you're sitting on a stockpile of seeds, they might see it as a golden ticket to their survival and your nightmare. To protect this vital resource, hide your seeds like your life depends on it. Store them in unassuming containers, like an old coffee can or a nondescript box marked craft supplies. Better yet, keep them in a dry, dark place where they're safe from prying eyes and ready to plant when the time comes. Your heirloom seeds are more than just tools. They're your path to independence in a world where food might be more precious than gold. Protect them fiercely, because when others are starving, your ability to grow food might be your ultimate advantage. Number 7, portable shelters, like tents or tarps. When disaster strikes, sometimes staying put isn't an option. Floods, fires, or even hostile situations can force you to leave the safety of your home. In these moments, portable shelters like tents or tarps become your sanctuary. Lightweight, compact, and easy to pack, they offer protection against the elements and provide a crucial sense of security when you're on the move. But here's the catch. Mobility equals survival. If others see you with the ability to set up a shelter, they'll know you have resources, and that makes you a target. In a world of chaos, the appearance of being prepared can attract the wrong kind of attention. To avoid this, keep your portable shelters out of sight and out of mind. Store them in plain, unassuming containers like an old duffel bag or an attic box labeled camping gear. If you need to pack quickly, ensure these items are stashed somewhere easy to grab but hard for others to notice. Remember, a tarp or tent isn't just a piece of gear. It's your escape plan, your shelter, and sometimes your lifeline. When others are scrambling for cover, you'll have the tools to stay protected, but only if they remain hidden. Number 6, advanced first aid kits. When a crisis hits, medical supplies are often the first resource to disappear. Injuries, illnesses, and emergencies don't wait, and hospitals or clinics may no longer be an option. That's why a fully stocked advanced first aid kit isn't just a convenience, it's a life-saving necessity. But here's the problem. In a desperate situation, people will go to any lengths for medical supplies. If others know you have them, you'll quickly become a target. And in a world where first aid can mean the difference between life and death, those who didn't prepare will look to take what you have. To protect this critical resource, you need to get creative. Consider hiding your first aid kits in places that blend in with your everyday surroundings. A toolbox in your garage, a bin labeled holiday decorations, or even inside an unassuming backpack are all great options. The goal is to make them invisible to anyone who might be searching for supplies. Your first aid kit isn't just a box of bandages and gauze. It's your ticket to survival when help isn't coming. But remember, the key to protecting it is staying discreet. In an emergency, the best prepared are often the most vulnerable. So keep your medical supplies hidden, safe, and ready when you need them most. Number 5, solar chargers and power banks. When the grid goes down, so does everything that depends on electricity. Your phone, your flashlight, even critical medical devices. In these moments, a solar charger or power bank isn't just convenient. It's a survival tool. These devices allow you to keep essential electronics running, providing light, communication, and even access to life-saving information. But here's the harsh truth. Power equals advantage. If your neighbors see you charging your phone or running a device while they sit in the dark, it won't take long for desperation to set in. You could become a target overnight. To protect your solar chargers and power banks, discretion is key. Store them in unassuming places like a drawer labeled old cables or tucked inside a toolbox. Use them only when you're sure no one else is watching, and never advertise that you have access to power. In a prolonged crisis, your ability to generate electricity could mean the difference between staying informed and being left in the dark, both literally and figuratively. But remember, what others don't see, they can't take. Protect your solar chargers like the invaluable lifeline they are. Number 4, alternative weapons for defense. When desperation takes over, protecting yourself and your family isn't just a choice, it's a necessity. In times of chaos, the ability to defend what's yours can mean the difference between safety and disaster. And while firearms are often the first option people think of, alternative weapons like crossbows, slingshots, or even pepper spray can be just as effective, while being quieter and easier to conceal. But here's the catch. Visibility equals vulnerability. If others know you have weapons, you risk becoming a target, not just for the unprepared, but for those who might see your defenses as something they need more than you. That's why it's critical to keep your weapons hidden and secure. Store them in unexpected places, like a locked toolbox, a hollowed-out piece of furniture, or even disguised as everyday objects. The goal is to ensure they're accessible to you but invisible to anyone who might go looking. In a survival scenario, your ability to defend yourself isn't just about strength, it's about strategy. And keeping your weapons hidden gives you a powerful edge. Remember, the element of surprise is one of your greatest allies. Protect your defenses and they'll protect you. Number 3, freeze-dried foods. When it comes to survival, few things are as valuable as freeze-dried foods. These lightweight, long-lasting meals are a prepper's dream. Packed with nutrition, easy to store, and capable of staying fresh for decades. In a crisis, when the cupboards are empty and the stores have nothing left, these meals become an absolute lifeline. But here's the danger. In desperate times, food is power. If others find out you have freeze-dried meals tucked away, it won't take long for word to spread. People will come knocking, or worse, to get their hands on your precious supply. That's why it's essential to keep your stash hidden and secure. Store freeze-dried foods in airtight bins labeled with something unassuming, like winter gear or old supplies. Use dark, dry storage spaces like a basement or closet where they'll stay safe and out of sight. What makes freeze-dried foods so valuable is their long shelf life and versatility. In a world where every meal becomes a struggle, your ability to prepare a nourishing dish with just a little water will set you apart. But remember, discretion is your shield. The less people know about your supply, the safer you and your food will be. Number 2. Barter items, silver, batteries, and alcohol. In a world where cash loses its value, barter becomes the new economy. When the banks are closed and credit cards are useless, items like silver coins, AA batteries, and small bottles of alcohol transform from everyday commodities into highly sought-after lifelines. These items hold their value no matter the crisis and can be traded for food, tools, or even safety when times get tough. But here's the risk. If your neighbors catch wind of your stash, you might as well hang a sign on your door that says "Neighborhood Store." Desperation drives people to extreme measures, and your carefully stockpiled barter items could make you a target for raids or theft. To avoid this, keep your barter items hidden and untraceable. Store silver coins in nondescript containers, like old tins or empty jars labeled "spare screws." Batteries can be tucked away in ordinary boxes alongside other electronics, while alcohol bottles are best disguised in a dark cabinet or labeled as cleaning supplies. The goal is to ensure these items are safe and accessible to you, but invisible to prying eyes. In a post-collapse society, barter items are more than just tradable goods. They're your leverage, your lifeline, and sometimes your last resort. Protect them wisely because when money fails, these will be the currency that ensures your survival. Number 1. Water storage and purification systems. In the world of survival, there's one truth you cannot escape. Without water, you won't last more than 3 days. When disaster strikes and the taps run dry, water becomes the most valuable resource on the planet. It's not just essential, it's everything. From large water containers to portable filters and purification tablets, these tools can mean the difference between life and death. But here's the terrifying reality. In a crisis, desperation for water can drive people to unthinkable extremes. When others are dehydrated and panicked, your supply becomes a beacon for trouble. That's why protecting your water storage and purification systems is absolutely vital. Hide them wisely. Large containers can be disguised in basements or garages behind everyday items like gardening tools or boxes. Smaller filters and purification tablets can be stashed in backpacks, toolkits, or even inconspicuous drawers. The key is to keep these life-saving resources out of sight and out of mind. But storing water isn't enough. You also need the ability to purify it. Rivers, lakes, or even rainwater might be your only sources, and without purification, they could bring illness instead of relief. A single portable filter or a few purification tablets could be your lifeline when the world's water supply is no longer safe. Remember this: when water becomes scarce, it's no longer just a resource, it's power. Those who have it can survive. Those who don't, won't. Protect your water supply like your life depends on it, because it does. These 10 items aren't just supplies, they're your lifeline in a world turned upside down. But remember, the key isn't just owning them, it's keeping them hidden. Because when desperation strikes, it's not just what you have, it's how well you can protect it. Which of these items do you think is the most important? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button to support our channel and help us reach more people like you. Don't forget to subscribe to Preppers Community for weekly survival tips, strategies, and insights to keep you and your family safe in 2025 and beyond. And make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay prepared and stay safe. This is Preppers Community signing off.